Accounting disciplines, there's a lot of them. You know, if you look across planet Earth as a whole, there's two jobs that always seem to have opportunities for people that have some special skills. One is nursing. I mean, the whole planet needs a nurse somewhere, sometime. And the other one is accountants. Every business has to have an accountant of some kind. And there's different versions out there. You have a lot of financial accounting. This is actually my specialty. We analyze things to see if the organization is profitable, if it's able to pay its bills, how much debt does it owe. Part of it is they're actively involved in the annual report, seeing about the financial condition, progress, everything that you're looking for. On the annual report, there's five major components that are required all the time. Number one, your annual report for a company needs to lead with a management discussion and analysis of operations. Usually, management, the CEO is out they're talking about their company, how wonderful everything is. Then you have the three statements, but you already know what these are: balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows. But the very last section, usually, if you're used to looking at an report, you flip to this one first. You look at the last section on the auditor's opinion. The auditor, because of the fact it's a publicly traded company, or if it's a state-funded or federal-funded program, they will always have to have a CPA, certified public accountant, come in and perform an audit. And you'll see that you always check the auditor's opinion actually first to make certain that there's not any discrepancies, because an auditor is required to disclose any problems that the company encountered in its creation of the financial report. That's always a big deal. There's five things. Know them not just for this class, but know them just in case you ever come across and you want to buy stock, you want to check things out. Five things: management discussion, balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows, the auditor's opinion. Those are all five mandatory sections. A lot of times the company will throw in a couple of other sections as well, that they have some kind of special aspect of it. The different kinds of accountants: there's a private accountant where they work for a single firm and they're inside the organization. Then you have a public accountant. They really work on a fee basis, and they are actually accountants for hire by different agencies. And then you have the certified public accountant, who's gone through formal training as accountant. They've actually have enough certifications that they're almost at a full bachelor's or master's degree. A lot of them do have master's degree on top of that, and they sit and they go through a series of examinations, and they pass them. And when they pass them, all of them, they finally get formally certified as a public accountant or a CPA. That's like the epitome of it, and it's a license rather than a degree. A couple things that you watch for are these aspects of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which really is about government reported standards for publicly traded companies. And they also pay attention to the regulation over the aspect of some new restrictions called the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act, trying to sit down and get control of some of the other aspects of the finances and Wall Street. They have to sit for training for a year, subject recertification. They have to go through a whole series of things. Here's some provisions of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act that the CPA comes in and looks for. And on managerial accounting, they really go through and they do a lot of cost accounting. They look at the cost of production, the cost of marketing, preparation control of budgets, minimizing tax liabilities. This is where the heart of actually manipulating the money, and manipulation is kind of a scary thing to talk about accounting, but it actually is what it is. How you're going to sit down and make things work from a operational perspective and the money. So when you start working with internal departments, you have tools, parts, raw materials. That classification, how you have them, is a big deal because of the fact that really is what we call managerial accounting. Auditing, you review the information and prepare the financial statements. And a lot of times, if you're publicly traded, you're required to bring in an outside agency to prepare this for you. In our case, my whole background in the last 20 plus years has always been within higher education. But with that, we always have to hire an auditor. We have to really give them a contract for X number of years. We have to either renew it or get somebody new and change it around, and always have audits. You're better off changing auditors every once in a while to make certain that your books are clean and you don't have a too close of a friendship with the one auditing company. So when you start looking for financial problems, you bring in a forensic accountant, and they cost a massive amount of money. And so one time I had a problem. I took over a company. We had some difficulties with this. We brought a forensic accountant in, and they had to go back and rebuild the books. 3 years before, and we brought it all the way back, and we found that there was some shenanigans happening, and we had to go back and fix all that. But a forensic accountant is a very specialized accountant where they go back and they find out what happened, and they formalize a report, and they can sit down and help bail you out of a difficult situation and set things right, especially if you're starting something brand new. Tax accountants, they're trained in tax law, and sometimes these people can save you an awful lot of money if you're paying attention to what they're doing. And really, if you look at government accounting is totally different than private sector accounting. I was in my office one time, and they had a brand new rookie auditor coming in, and it says, I need to see your books. So I said, well, there they are, all 17 accounts. 17 accounts? You can't do that. Yeah, no, you can only have one set of books. I said, dude, listen, one set of books is private sector. This is government. I have 17 different funds. We watch all 17. That's how you do it. If you need to go back, talk to your boss and set you right, that I don't have time to waste. Get busy. There's 17 different books. Live with it. Government accounting and nonprofit are a different thing than private sector. So make certain if you get into the business, you know the difference. Government accounting, you have a huge amount of different things. Sometimes you have to nose around a little bit. You see the pun. Anyway, so that being said, every business needs an accountant. Private accountant, public accountant, CPA, auditor, financial accounting, manager accounting, government accounting. There's so many accounting jobs out there. You can be one of those people that the world learns how to count on. Take care.